This is StewardShift, a show that gives you the tools you need to get the most of your best resources. Your money, your mind, your body, your time.
Welcome to the StewardShift Show. My name is Troy Solomon Levy, and I'm your host. We're here to talk about your money and what it has to do with everything else in your life. Many times we silo everything in our lives. So money over here, relationships over here, physical health here, mental health over here, when in fact, all of these things are interconnected and are interdependent on each other. So we're shifting our understanding of stewardship, how to handle life's most important resources, and everything that I just listed are the most important things. So today, we're talking about happiness. Happiness. What money has to do with your happiness. Most of us assume that if I made more money, that I would be happier. Studies have shown, this came out a couple years ago, that once you hit about $75,000 a year or so in terms of annual income, that is kind of a baseline for happiness. Another study came out, this was by Purdue University, that $75,000 a year is about that, again, confirming about that baseline for emotional well-being. But true satisfaction, for true satisfaction, the ideal income is about $95,000. Nonetheless, they're saying, these couple of studies are saying, you don't have to make six figures in order to be truly happy. Now, someone's probably thinking, man, in this economy with inflation and all this, I get it. I understand. All I'm trying to say is that making a whole lot isn't going to make you happier. That happiness at some point has to be a choice. In fact, Entrepreneur Magazine said this, that happy people make more money. Now, let's just kind of get the cart and the horse just right. Many times we put the cart before the horse and say that more money would make me happy. But Entrepreneur Magazine actually has it flipped. They said that happy people, in fact, make more money. And there's several reasons for this. And here's the first reason. They say that happy people are more optimistic in their lives. And by way of taking more risks, there's more reward to that. So happy people are just optimistic. They think the best about life. Not that they're naive necessarily, not that they don't think that nothing is ever going to happen to them. But in life, obviously, you have to take some risks, and happy people are more optimistic about the challenges and the risks that they take. You ever notice someone who just doesn't want to take any risk? They don't want to do anything new. It's just they tend to be sad, right? Just sad people. They don't want anything new in life. Imagine life with nothing new. Well, you're probably not going to be a happy person, but happy people tend to be more optimistic. A second reason why they found that happy people tend to make more money is that happy people tend to take fewer sick days. In fact, they notice that happy people take, in general, 15 fewer sick days than unhappy workers. And if you're having to take a whole lot of time, and I know that some people are just sick, that whether they're happy or not, that's just a thing. But happiness tends to make you more healthy. And that's just part of the interconnectedness of money and mental health and relationships and those kinds of things, right? Another thing that they noticed is that happy people are more productive. In fact, they found that happy people are 12% more productive, or they have a 12% greater productivity than those who are not happy. So happy people, or let's just say productive people, are gonna be hired more. You have more to show on your resume. You get raises more often. You're gonna be the one who's promoted as well. So if you want to make more money, then of course, choose to be happy. And those who choose to be happy are going to be more productive. Happy people also get better performance reviews. Now, I'm just going to pause right here and just kind of take my time with this because I want to talk about two things when it comes to performance reviews. Number one, there's just this thing about life that people who are more likable are probably going to get better reviews, period. Whether that's performance, like across the board, it doesn't matter. If you're well liked by your boss or those who are your superiors, then you're probably going to get a better performance review. That's just what it is in life. But then on top of that, if you're actually performing well, like imagine you're just well liked and you perform better. Like, I'm not saying to kiss anyone's tail or anything like that. I'm saying that a combination of being well liked and actually performing well. And we just talked about those other things like, taking fewer sick days. And now if you're sick, just take the sick day, right? But if there's no need to have to take the sick day, then inevitably your performance is going to increase. So all of these things are working together, and deciding to be happy inevitably comes out on your performance review at work. Another thing that they found about happy people is that happy people are part of the solution and not the problem. All right, look, here's the thing. People like to hire others whose behavior and attitude are contagious in a good way. So if you're always bad-mouthing the boss or always talking about your coworker or always talk about what's not right at work and what everyone else can do better. Now, mind you, most people aren't saying these things about themselves, which should be a huge red flag, a huge signal that, all right, there's something wrong here. But if people are finding fault with everyone else and everything else around them and not just themselves, that's probably not a happy person. And that's probably not a person that you would want on your team if you were the boss. But those who don't just see a problem, and there's nothing wrong with seeing something that's wrong, by the way, right? There's nothing wrong with being observant and say, hey, this can be better. But happy people don't just see the problem, but they see a solution for the problem as well. And who doesn't want that kind of person on their team? Who doesn't want to promote that person? Who wouldn't want a boss or a manager who's like that, right? So you're going to get a raise. You're going to get promoted. You're going to earn down the road much better or much higher than someone who's part of the problem and never the solution. Then the last one, happy people invest in themselves. Happy people are always improving. They're always learning more. They're always reading books. They're always watching shows, these kinds of shows, by the way, and these kinds of podcasts, hint. They're always investing in themselves. They're always seeing how they can improve on the good that they already have. They're always boosting themselves up and always pulling others up with them. So by investing in themselves, they're also investing in others who are around them, and they're boosting the team up instead of dragging the whole team down. Now, if you know me, you know that I have to put some Bible on this. I'm going to go to the wise man, Solomon, the wisest man who has ever lived. He says this in Ecclesiastes. He says, and it is a good thing to receive wealth from God and the good health to enjoy it. All right, so we're talking about wealth, we're talking about money, and then also the good health to enjoy it. Because the reality is that if we have money, but we don't have the health to enjoy it, we're always sick or we're always, whatever the case is, then all the money in the world ain't gonna do much good for us. But he says, look, it's a good thing to have wealth and health to enjoy it. But he doesn't just leave it at that. Solomon says to enjoy your work and accept your lot in life. This is indeed a gift from God. The joy. You're not just seeing what's wrong, but you have wealth, you have health, and you have the joy to enjoy it all. Then it ends with this. God keeps such people so busy enjoying life. There we go with that word again. That they take no time to brood over the past. All right, so we got several things here working together. We got money or wealth. We got good health. But then Solomon ends with this. He says, man, you're not going to brood over the past, meaning that your mental health starts getting involved in all of these things. We have physical health, we have financial health, and we have mental health. And Solomon, this wise man, is saying that all of these things work together. They're interdependent, that good health and money and mental health, like if you're always brooding over the past, you're always worried about what's going on, things that you just can't fix, literally, it's impossible to fix those things. That when these things are working together, this is what leads to a happy life. Now, of course, in our society, we have various definitions of happiness. People say, okay, well, if you make a whole lot of money, that's what happiness is. Well, that's just one silo in life. Or people just say, well, if you just have health, I guess maybe not considering that, hey, making good money or having a good income or doing something with what you have, increasing that's something that you have to consider as well. But man, just pulling in the mental health side of things, like having the joy to actually be at peace. I mean, if you have money and you have health, but you don't have peace, man, something is missing. And all of these things are contributing to the upliftment of each other. So let's not get into this thing that society has that, okay, happiness is just about one portion or one silo of our lives. That's not how happiness is defined. But God is the one who gives us the happiness, and he helps us to be happy in all of these silos, what normally are silos, but all these things are interdependent on each other. So here's the bottom line. And for all of these episodes for the StewardShift show, we're going to have a bottom line. How does this particular thing that we're discussing on this episode affect our bottom line of money? And here's how it affects our bottom line. Happy people live up to 10 years longer and tend to get better performance reviews at work, which typically leads to higher pay. So if you want higher pay, here's what you got to do. Here's your bottom line. You got to decide to be happy. We don't just make higher pay by saying, okay, I'm going to earn more money this year. No, here's a better path. I'm going to decide to be happy. And by deciding to be happy, inevitably, your bottom line of money, of pay, will increase. So here's a shift that you can make. And for all of our episodes, we're going to have a shift. Here's one thing that you can do. Find one thing to be thankful for every single day. Like you want to decide to be happy? Well, start here. Here's the small shift, just a very small shift that you can make every single day. Find one thing to be thankful for. Just one thing. Doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a small thing, but find one thing to be thankful for every single day. And when you wake up in the morning, don't reach for your phone, go brush your teeth. But as soon as you sit up in your bed, man, just be thankful for one thing that day. And when you do that, you're going to add to your bottom line and shift your understanding of how you can best handle the resources that you have.